The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter is made possible by a contribution from Renegade Game Studios. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the Daughter.
And today we are playing World's Fair 1893 from Renegade Game Studios.
And designer J. Alex Kervin.
Now I think this is the first historic game we've played that's based on one actual event.
Probably, yeah.
It's very cool. In fact, you can get lost down a rabbit hole looking at all the different things on the World's Fair, which I've spent many couple hours doing. It's very interesting. It is a game that is an area control, has set collection, plays real fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's really good. So let's travel in time back to then and find out who wins the World's Fair.
Okay.
We have the game obviously set up for a two-player because it is Dad versus Daughter. You'll notice that on the main Ferris wheel board here, it has a little 2 icon there, and then at the top, it also has a 2 to 3 player there. And you'll notice when you flip it over, see there's more spaces because we are going to be moving this little gondola here. This is really kind of cool. On the Ferris wheel, every time we take a midway card, and we'll show you the midway cards here in a little bit, but every time we take a midway card, we are going to move one space for each midway card that we take. Now, you'll notice because we have it set up for 2-player, there's not as many cars or car spots on there.
There's only 9.
Yeah, so it keeps the game flowing, and the game does play very quickly.
Yeah, especially in a 2-player.
So the other first thing we'll do with the setup is we take our colored cubes, which are our supporters, and I'm actually playing purple.
Yep, and I'm going to be blue.
I don't normally play purple.
No.
That's kind of like your secondary color, but there is no green.
There was a yellow or a white.
Yeah, and out of the yellow and white and purple, I think I'd rather be purple.
Yeah.
So what we do is we place one of our supporters in each one of the pavilions. We have electricity, we have manufacturing, we have agriculture, we have fine arts, and we have transportation. And with the exception of the electricity and agriculture, the pavilion boards actually have a picture of those pavilions. And as I think I pointed out in our unboxing, and I know that I pointed it out on our Facebook page, the Fine Arts building, let me just show that off, is the only building that is left standing from the 1893 World's Fair. And that is because it is
the Science and Art Museum.
The Museum of Science and Industry, in Chicago. So, which the fair was in Chicago on the south side. And speaking of that, I want to point this out in the rule book. I know I usually save this kind of stuff for the review, but this is just kind of cool. The back of the rule book has a map of where the pavilions were in the fair. And you'll see up here, that is where the Museum of Science and Industry is currently. And if you go out and look at like Google Earth or Bing or whatever, and you do kind of an overhead, you'll see these lagoons and such. So really cool. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself here.
You nerd out.
I tell you what, it's very easy to do in this game because I think this is the first game that we've ever played that is based on a single historical event.
That's kind of true, yeah.
I don't think we've played any other ones. And you can really fall way down the rabbit hole on this, just looking things up. So let's get back to the game here. So now what we'll do is we will put 2 cards in each one of the pavilions. Oh, there's a midway ticket. There's another midway ticket.
There's the influence cards coming out.
Yeah.
It's really cool because all of them give you a little bit of history inside of them, so you can definitely start looking at the cards and then be like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. So since we do have some of the influence cards out, let's talk about those and what the special ability is that we do with those.
Alright, so here's a couple of them. So first we have Miss Bertha Palmer. So this icon here means you can move your cube or any other person's cube kind of wherever you want to. So just move it all around the board. Next we have George Davis, who you can add an additional cube to an area adjacent to the area where you just played your supporter. And that is that icon up there. And we will say, at least we've been playing it, if you're here, you can only go there, and if you're there, you can't cross over.
Right.
So we'll make a point of that. Then we have Daniel Burnham here, So he is, you can add an additional supporter to the same area where you just placed one of your cubes. And one of the other ones is kind of a little bit different. We don't have them up currently, but they will allow you to place a cube in one of the certain color areas.
Yeah, the thing about Daniel Burnham was he was one of the lead organizers. He actually lived on the fairgrounds for over 2 years before the fair began, because he was kind of, the head, kind of head honcho there. And see, I'm actually reading that right from the rule book.
They give you all these tidbits of
there is,
information.
that's just another one of those things. I'm geeking out too much.
You are.
So let's talk about how we basically do a turn. On our turn, we're going to take one of our supporters, and we get to place it in any of the pavilions that we want.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if we have any of the influential cards from a previous turn, then we have to play them.
Or discard them if you don't want to, but it helps you if you do play them.
And then the third thing we do is, for wherever we actually placed our supporter, we take those cards. And if we took a midway card, then we actually move the little gondola one space, and then the rest of the cards are kind of go as a set collection. And then what we do, wherever we took a card, we're going to place 3 cards from the deck, starting with where we took the cards from, and then going around the board in a clockwise fashion.
And you want to make sure that you don't, you place them where they have slots available.
Right. So you'll notice here in the electricity pavilion, we have 3 little counters at the bottom. That means that this can hold only 3 cards.
Same with the fine arts. The other ones are all 4.
Right. And then that's really it. Then once the little gondola goes all the way around the Ferris wheel, then we go into the scoring. And we'll talk about that when that time comes up. Now, kind of a weird thing, Megan decided she did not want to go first.
Nah.
Did not want to be the first player.
There's a reason for that.
So based on the number of players, you get these starting bonus cards here. So as a first player, it says after placing one supporter in every area, add 1 bonus supporter to the manufacturing area. So I'm going to get rid of this card, and I'm going to take one of my supporters, and I'm going to put him in manufacturing.
And for me, I get to put one in transportation and in agriculture.
Because this is kind of area control. So
Definitely area control.
When we do the scoring, we're going to look and see who has the majority, and they're going to get points if they are the leader. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same way with the midway cards, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that is pretty much all there is to the game.
Yeah.
So let's sit down and play. Okay, I think I'm going to go to transportation.
Okay, so you take those.
Since I don't have any cards yet,
midway.
Influential people, just put those cards over here. And I know you can't see them. That's okay. We'll kind of explain when we do the scoring and when we play the cards.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and go to the electricity, and I'll take those 3. And I got a midway, so I'm going to go ahead and move that.
Now I'll see the cards.
Yep.
One there and there. Okay. I find myself reading the cards as much as anything. I will go to manufacturing, and I have Daniel Burnham, so I will place an extra 1 in manufacturing since that's where I was. 2 midway cards, so Megan will advance the midway there, and I will take these other cards.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to go to agriculture and take all of those. That is 1 midway.
Okay. So as we said in the setup, if you have an area that already has the max number of cards, then you skip over it and you move around to the next area. Yeah, fine arts looks pretty good, so I'm going to go there. Whoops, before I take the cards, I got to play George Davis, which will have me place 1. I'm going to place him in transportation.
You got 2 midways there.
And I also got the Viking ship for transportation.
Nice.
You know that Norway sailed a replica to Chicago to show that the Vikings could have made it to America.
That's funny. That's impressive, though. Don't think I would want to be on a Viking ship that long, but still, it's kind of cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go here to transportation. That's 2 midways. Oh, but I have to do my cards first. So Bertha lets me move them So I'm going to go ahead and move that there. And George Davis says I can put one on an adjacent spot, so that would be that. Now I can take these for 2 midways.
Okay. And judging where you're at on the Ferris wheel kind of dictates how you want to control the game. Because if you really want to get into the scoring round, then you are going to try to look where the midway cards are at. But if you're not, you want to stay away from those. So you got quite a few midway cards over there.
You do. You have 4. You have 4 too. Okay.
You are currently outnumbering me in about everywhere.
We're tied on fine arts, and you have the higher in manufacturing, and we're tied in transportation. But yeah, I'm outnumbering you in ag and electricity.
Yeah, I will go to agriculture.
Okay.
And I don't have any influential cards.
No midways?
No midways.
Gotcha.
Guess I could move my cards over here.
I'm going to go ahead and go to the fine arts. I don't have any influence, and there was no midways. So we'll do that, and that.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, there's only one place that doesn't have a midway.
Yeah. You get 1 card.
So,
That's the first red card to come up, too.
yeah. Nobody.
So if you got that, you tie. You would at least get that, though. Let me do the scoring
That is
phase.
true. I would do that.
Because you would at least get one of those exhibits.
I'm going to go to transportation.
Okay.
And that
Do
will.
you have an influence
Oh,
card?
I do have. Yeah, Dan will burn them. So I actually will add another to transportation.
Okay. 1 midway. Triggers.
Whoops.
There you go. And there's that.
Okay, so now that we have had the gondola go all the way around, we do the first round of scoring. So what we do first is we count up our midway tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5.
4.
So since I have the most, I will get a little bonus 2-point token there. And then you get a point for each one of the tickets that you have. So I'll get 5
I get
money.
4. Then we start looking at who has the most in the exhibits.
Right. So we'll just start over here. And Megan has the majority in electric.
Yep, so I'll take one of those 2 points. And then I can also cash them in up to 3. So I actually have 2 electrics.
So this is where the little scoring card comes in. Based on the number of players, it will tell you what you do. So first place gets a 2 metal ribbon, and they can basically turn in 3 of those pavilion cards and get those tokens. Because that's where the set collection really comes in, is the number of tokens that you have down at the bottom here tells you how many points those are going to be. And we'll talk about that at the end of the game.
Yep. So then you have the most in manufacturing.
I do. So I'll get the little 2 thing there.
How many do you have there?
I only have 1, unfortunately. So I'll turn in
There's
the
that.
Remington typewriter.
Nice. We
So I'm just going to keep those over here.
tied for ag.
We tied for ag, so that means we can each turn in 1.
I don't have anything.
I do. I have the world's largest cheese.
Ew.
It's a Canadian cheese. Canadian cheese factories work together to make this 11-ton cheese, the largest in the world.
That's a lot of cheese.
So take a green. Thank you very much.
Fine arts. I have the majority, but I don't have any cards to turn in because there's only that 1.
Yeah.
So nothing there, and you have majority in transportation. So you'll go ahead and get that, and you have 2.
And I can turn 2 in.
There you go.
So I'm going to turn in the Viking ship and the Otis elevators.
Nice. So that's that.
Okay, so since I was the one who triggered the end of the round.
We have to clean up.
Yes, very good point, Megan.
So what
So-
you do is you take 1 for each pair.
So Megan will get 1 of these supporters back. I will get 1 from manufacturing.
We'll both get 1 there.
You get 1 there.
1 there. You get 1. You have 5,
So
so
I'm
you'll
gonna
get
take 2
2. and I
back.
get 1.
And then we move the little scoring marker on to the second round.
Yep. And so you triggered it. So now it is me first. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go here to manufacturing, and Daniel Burnham lets me put another one right there. Then that
1 midway.
1 midway.
Yep.
Thank you.
So move the gondola.
That is the Algerian Theater. It's 25 cents to get in.
That was quite a bit back in 1893.
Yeah, I know. right, your turn.
Yeah. Well, I got rid of all my exhibition cards, so I only have
Just your influence.
2 of my influence people, so I got to figure out where I want to go. I think I'm going to go to the fine arts.
I don't blame you.
So then I will turn in Augustus St. Gaudens. He was an artistic advisor and a prominent American sculptor. So he's going to let me add 1 to the Fine Arts Pavilion. I also have George Davis, who he was a Director General, retired U.S. Congressman. He was a congressman from Illinois. So he's going to let me put 1 on either side of the Fine Arts.
I mean, I think it would be from Illinois. This does take place here.
It does take place in Chicago. Let's just put him in agriculture.
All right.
Okay, so then I'll get those cards. I got the fisherman, which was Adolf Britt, a prominent German sculptor. Had this and another of his early bronze on display. And I also got the Australian grain.
Nice. Let's see. I'm gonna go here to transportation. We don't have any influence. I'll just go ahead and take these. So I have the French bakery and the modern woman. No midways either.
Modern woman?
Modern woman, not the pretty woman.
Well, modern woman is a Billy Joel song.
Oh.
She's a modern woman.
She was Mary Cassatt, and she was an American impressionist who painted the mural for the women's building at the fair.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot there at the agriculture. So I'm going to
Yep.
take that. I've got no people.
It's 1 midway.
1 midway. And I got the gondolas and the Krupp building and Midway and Charles Schwab.
What's your midway for?
My midway is Street in Cairo.
Ooh.
The reproduction of the old city included daily prayers, dancers, camel rides, and more.
Did it have Indiana Jones running through with his whip?
No, it did
Street
not.
in Cairo?
And it did cost you 25 cents.
Oh, well.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da.
What do I want to do? I don't know. I don't have any influence people. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go to the fine arts and take some influence. And that will be it for that. So 1, 2, and then manufacturing.
Wow, a lot of midways.
Yeah, no, you could definitely
A lot of midways
start moving
there.
around.
Yeah.
Every time we say Midway, though, I just think of the Toy Story Midway ride with Mr. Potato Head.
Midway Mania.
Mr. Potato Head here.
I am going to go to the manufacturing. So I put 1 there. And Charles Schwab.
Schwab.
He was a director, council of administration, and he was a Chicago steel tycoon.
Nice.
So he will allow me to put 1 extra in manufacturing. There's 3 midway tokens.
Jeez. 1, 2, 3.
And I also got the Delmer quadricycle.
Interesting.
And then my midway was for the Lapland village and villagers from Lapland, which is in northern Finland.
Mm-hmm.
They displayed teepees, huts, reindeer, and dogs. 25 cents.
And dogs.
Yeah. I have
Reindeers and dogs.
the captive balloon and the Chinese theater.
Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and go to agriculture here, and I'm gonna play George Westinghouse, who will go on electricity, and Cyrus McCormick Jr., who will go another one on agriculture.
Right.
And take those, and no midways.
You know, I think I'm going to go to the fine arts.
Okay.
I don't have any influential people.
That was
So-
1 midway.
1 midway, which was for the diving show.
Interesting.
I also got the chocolate pavilion,
Ooh.
which it was stalwart of Germany displayed this 38-foot tall pavilion made of 30,000 pounds of chocolate.
Wow.
Man, that'd give you a tummy ache.
Yeah.
And I also got Augustus St. Gaudens. Hope I'm
Alright.
pronouncing that correctly.
We butcher names all the time. I'm going to go ahead and go to transportation. And I have George Pullman, who will allow me to put another on transportation. And that's 2 midways.
Getting close to the end of the round there. I feel like I need to diversify a little bit more. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to agriculture.
Okay.
So I
That
have
triggers.
I have Augustus, so he goes into the fine arts, and he would take these, which is 2 midways, which
Only
will
be
trigger
1.
the end there. So he goes away. So since that was the end, we look at our midway cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3.
So I will get the 2 plus another 7 money. Money.
Okay.
Now let's look at electricity. That
I
is
have the
you.
most. I don't have any cards though for it.
So we'll just go ahead and do the cleanup because
Yep.
we don't forget. Manufacturing,
You have the
I
most.
actually have. So I'll get a little medal there.
You've got 1.
I do have 1. Turn that in.
So I'll get 1, you get 2 back.
Yep.
Agriculture, you have the most.
I have the most, so I'll get a little 2 medal.
I'll get 2.
I will turn 2 of my
2.
greens in.
There you go. Did you get your medal?
Yes, I got my medal.
Fine arts, you have the most. So you'll get 2 and I'll get 1 back.
And I'll get my little 2 medal, and I can turn 1 in.
Okay. And transportation, I have the most there. So I'll get 2, you get 1, I'll get a medal, and I can turn 1 in. Right, so you triggered it. So I can go ahead and take my turn for the start of the 3rd round here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to manufacturing. And my influential person of George Pullman will let me put another one on transportation.
Yeah.
And that's 1 midway. Got the French furniture in the Republic, which actually looks really cool. It's the colossal 65-foot tall statue made of plaster and covered in gold leaf, which sounds pretty impressive.
Then we did that. Yeah, let's go to transportation.
Okay, so
And I have Charles Schwab, so I'm going to be able to put 1 in manufacturing.
there you go.
And 1 midway.
I already moved you.
Okay.
Right.
I have the Japanese screen and the Atlantic cable.
I'm going to go ahead and go here to the fine arts, and I have Daniel Burnham, which allows me to put 1 more on there. So that's no midways there. But I get the Longhouse and the Swiss watch, along with Bertha Palmer.
I think I will go to electricity.
Okay.
I don't have any influential people, so I will just take these cards.
It's 1 midway.
1 midway, which was the Austrian village.
Nice.
And also get the wrought iron gates and the original cable car.
Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and go here to manufacturing, and Bertha will allow me to put another 1
Or move.
or move. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
only
it is
moving,
moving.
not
Yeah.
moving. Yeah. Mine are yours.
I'll let you take electricity there, and then 1 midway for me. There you go.
Yeah, I think I'll go to agriculture.
Okay.
Don't have any influential people. 1 midway,
Gonna have to shuffle
which
it up
is
here
the
soon.
ice railway.
Nice.
Also get the alternating current. Because at the World's Fair, that was kind of like at the height of the war between Edison and Tesla.
Cool.
And if you watched our last video, Steampunk Rally,
Yeah.
you'll
We
know
had
that
both of them in it.
those characters can be used to be in the race. So it's kind
Yep.
of cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and go again to the fine arts.
Actually, I guess that wasn't the last video. That was a few videos ago.
Yeah. Then McCormick will allow me to put 1 in ag, and Bertha will let me move 1. So, let's see. I'll move you back over there. That, and I'll take these. No midways.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to go to transportation. And then I'll use Daniel Burnham to add another 1 to transportation. And George Davis to add 1 to the fine arts.
We've got 2 midways there. There's that.
Okay.
And we're going to need to shuffle.
There's the German village. I'm getting all these villages. And the Irish village. Bicycles and the movable sidewalk. Okay, so we need to add 1 more to manufacturing.
Yep.
All right, your turn.
All right.
Almost to the end of the game here. That's how fast this
No.
game plays.
I'm gonna go ahead and go here to agriculture and just take the telautograph. That's how you say it. Precursor to the fax machine, which transmitted handwriting as electric pulses.
Interesting.
That's kind of interesting. Your turn.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to electricity.
Might as well. You have
I
a majority.
I don't have anybody there, but
That
that's
was 1
1
midway.
midway. And that will give me the kinetoscope, which was the early motion picture device used by Edison's lab, allowed an individual to watch a short film. I think those what they have at Disney World. It used to be like a little penny arcade type of thing.
Oh yeah, they have them up on the train station on Main Street.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
So one midway card is going to trigger the end. The only place you're not going to trigger is if you go to the fine arts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
You're not ready to trigger, huh?
Well, I wanted to have a majority there. So I mean,
Yeah, you've got a lot of red.
You're taking it wherever you go, so go for it.
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, go to Fine Arts and take Bertha
I could take Bertha.
if you want to, but
I've got one. Let's see. You've got me there. Actually, you actually have a majority in almost every place.
except transportation and electricity.
You know, I think I'm going to do this.
No.
I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to play Bertha.
I need to get
And
Bertha.
I'm going to move you from there to there.
No.
And yeah, that's the turn. Wow, all the midway cards.
I gotta take them. They're
Uh,
getting full.
wow,
Goes
I've
back.
never had this happen where the pavilions have been so full.
I mean, this one's still not going to give you midways if you just want to keep fighting over this. How many cubes you got left?
I got 2.
82.
No, we're gonna end this. I think.
No. You can either take majority in fine arts or agriculture.
Yeah, I don't have anything in agriculture, so it really doesn't help me a bit.
Because we're tied in both.
You know what? I'm gonna go to manufacturing.
You've got Bertha.
I've got Bertha. I'm gonna move you from there
Oh.
to 2, 4, 6, 2, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that.
Okay, thank you.
And then so I have 1 midway, which will move and
Trigger
trigger,
it.
and that gives me the Tesla's Experiments.
Ooh.
Which, if you ever watched the movie The Prestige, Tesla is in there, played by David Bowie. It's a really good movie. About 2 battling magicians. Hugh Jackman, he's the star.
Yeah.
You know, because he's Hugh Jackman, he's hot.
No.
And then you also have Christian Bale. So you've got Wolverine and Batman, and
Isn't Scarlett Johansson in that?
Scarlett Johansson
You
is
got
in it.
Black
So you got
Widow.
Black Widow.
Marvel's still over
Well,
DC.
and you also have Alfred from the Christian Bale Batman movies as well.
So even out.
Well, it was a
That's
Christopher
funny.
Nolan movie,
So yeah, makes sense.
yeah. All right, so enough of that little banter. Let's look at the midway
I
tickets.
have 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for me. So I get a 2 and 7 money.
Alright, so you have the most electricity.
I do have the most electricity, and I can turn 3 in.
Okay, so you get a medal.
I do get a medal.
There you go.
Thank you.
Manufacturing, we are tied.
Manufacturing, we're tied. So since we're tied, we can each turn 1 in, which is all
I
I've
had
got.
5, which would have really helped me out.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Agriculture, you own.
We're tied.
No, you've got 4.
Oh, I do. Oh, thank goodness. Yay, I can put 3.
You have 3 tokens.
I thought we tied there. I was worried. Awesome. And then fine arts, I have it. You have 5 and I have 6. So there's that. That'll get me 3.
And transportation, I have.
Yep.
And I can turn 3 in for that.
And your medal.
And my medal.
And now we will tally up.
Yep. So we'll see who actually wins a 1893 trophy. Okay, Megan, that was not your
That is
best
the
game.
worst I've played this.
I had 74 points.
I had 45.
So, and we'll kind of walk you through how we do the points. Like I said, you'll notice along the bottom here, if you have a complete set of all 5 of the pavilion tokens, you're going to get 15 points. So we each had 1 complete set.
Yep.
If you have 4, you're going to get 10. If you have 3, you're going to get 6. 2 for 3 points and 1 point for 1. So I had 35 points in my tokens. And you had
Not that many.
you had 15, 21, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course the medals and the money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get to what we think.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go first because I know you're like geeking out over this game.
I tell you what, I love this game. I really enjoy everything about it, and that includes the whole theme of the game and all the flavor text and everything. I find myself reading the cards just as much as I'm paying attention to the game, which can be an annoyance for some other players, but really cool. We're not real big on area control games. We've gotten better with them.
I like them.
And this is area control with set collection.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're trying to basically get control of those areas over your opponent, because if they have a majority of the exhibit cards and they can turn those in to get the tokens, they're going to score some big points. So that's where the fighting of the area control comes in. I think the artwork on the cards is awesome. The game is real simple and it plays very fast. It scales well. I don't know what else to say. I really like the gameplay. I really like everything about it.
I really like this game too. I think it's really cool how you have the combination of the area control and the set collecting, because I think that's like two of my favorite aspects when it comes to types of games. Because I really like kind of beating you out on some of those area control, and I think just set collection is really easy, but it's also, you still have to think about it. And you also have to think about, when you're starting to put down, because you might want to get these cards, but you might not have anything for blue in your set collection, so you kind of have to start looking at how you want to put yours, and also how you can trigger end of game.
Yeah, you can kind of, it's not hate drafting, but it's,
You're
you're blocking people based on, you don't want them to get certain cards, or you don't want them to have the ability to turn their cards in. I think the midway tickets, those are a nice, different flair, because that's straight up who's got the most at the end of the scoring round.
Yeah.
But everybody still gets points from it. The leader just gets, an extra 2, plus, they're going to get a point for every card that they have.
Yeah.
And those go away at the end of every round. You always keep your other cards.
That's really nice, because I like how you can, maybe, depending, especially how you saw we started removing the cubes, you might end up with the advantage of having, the majority the next time, and then depending on your cards, too, might definitely help.
Yeah, and using those midway cards to control the speed of the game, I think that's also kind of a sleeper thing. People may not think about that as much, because I know I look and see, hey, am I going to get a majority in this? Do I want to trigger the end of that round so that you can't have the majority, or that you can't play, redeem your exhibition cards for your tokens? That's a huge part of the strategy here.
Yeah.
And I think in the games that I've played with the guys at work, I think that's kind of been one of those kind of overlooked things. And speaking of the guys at work, we've played this. You see how fast this plays. We can easily play this over lunch. Like I said, it's real easy to learn. Fast playing makes it perfect for those lunch games. It's good as a gateway game. You can get non-gamers into playing this real easy. And then, use this as a springboard into other area control or set collection games. So really cool.
Yeah, I definitely think this could be a step up from a gateway game, because it is pretty easy, but it takes those two elements, again, of set collection and area control, so you can kind of merge that and maybe start getting some new gamers into it, or, if you just want something easy and just kind of fun to play with, but still has all of that thinking and analysis kind of with it as well.
Yeah, and the way, the scalability on this, let me just flip this Ferris wheel over here, move these cards out of the way, so in a 3-player game, you'll notice we got quite a few more spots on the Ferris wheel. And then if we flip this over for a 4-player game, there's quite a bit. So, like I said, it scales really well. Everything about this game is top-notch.
Yeah, it's super good.
So, highly recommend this. You shouldn't have any problem finding this game at your friendly local game store or online places. I've seen it just about everywhere I see any of the other games. So, real easy to find. So, that'll do it, I think. And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.